is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Happy Friday to everybody. I love Fridays. Fridays are awesome because I have racing Friday night. I have racing Sunday. I have fun things to do over the weekend, and I just experienced that everybody on planet Earth seems to be in a good mood on Friday. That seems to be an international type of thing. So, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for being here just to talk about sim racing each and every day. Just keeping the hobby going, just keeping the enthusiasm for what we do going by having a daily show talking about the news. Letting you know, I mean, maybe you're a hardcore simmer and you don't care about Forza, or maybe you're really more of a gamer guy and you could care less about iRacing, but we're going to cover it all here on the Pit Stop. That's what we do each and every day. So, starting off with the guys over at the Forza camp, which, you know, my order is never in any kind of priority order. It's just the way they lined up when I started my browser, and, you know, if just to let you guys know, I should almost do a behind-the-scenes show showing you how I do things, but I have one browser saved with like 60, I think, home pages set. So when I started, it opened 60 tabs for me to rifle through all the things that I want to go through, see if there's any new news. When I set it all up, for some reason, Forza was the first one. So that's why Forza is always the first on the news. I don't even play that much Forza. I do love the franchise, but haven't done it much. Anyway, yesterday we talked about the mixer they had on Tuesday, I believe it was, where they announced or showed off their new 4 seasonal challenges that were going to be going on. 4 different weeks of challenges, and I guess they've kicked things off for the official summer ones. We kind of already covered this, but just to let you know, it is now up and running, I guess, and with that, they have 2 new seasonal events, 1 trial event, 1 speed zone challenge. 7 new daily challenges, so every day of the week you're going to find a challenge, and then 1 weekly challenge as well. Challenge equaling, hey, achievements equaling, hey, credits equaling, maybe leaderboards, things like that. New exclusive car, Hot Wheels, excuse me, Twin Mill, I've got the hiccup burps. Win via seasonal event, Blast from the Past. New Forza shop, stock, and exclusives, including the F355 Berlinetta Ferrari, and the Witch's Hat, whatever that means. 2 new cars for Car Pass owners, being the 2018 Ford Mustang DD. Ooh, I didn't know they made a direct drive Mustang. And a 2012 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider. So that's what's going on over at Forza right now. Right here, we're looking at their weekly challenge. Kettle of the Fish, looks like in a Beetle. Some daily challenges. So time remaining on this one, 22 hours, 9 minutes. Tickety Boo, closely overtake while racing to earn 2 awesome pass skills. Ooh, whoever posted this completed that one already. Belts and braces, green lane. Anyway, lots of fun stuff going on over at Forza. If you're just looking for some fun stuff to do, that's for Horizon 4. And I think that's all we have. Some shots of the guys at Hoonigans doing their Twitch stream. And what else? What camera's he using there? Oh, that's a big, expensive camera. Okay. Ooh, and that's a fancy boom that actually holds his mic where it belongs. Interesting. Anyway, I think that's all we have out of there. Verena May. She is doing a summerthon today at 10 a.m. if you want to watch the rally car girl. Drifter? I can't remember. I think she's a drifter, actually. Anyway, okay, Gran Turismo. Nothing going on over there. However, there is this one post. Think your SEMA show build is worthy of being recreated as a drivable vehicle in the Gran Turismo franchise? Click the below link to enter your build as a contender for the annual GT Awards and the opportunity to be GT's Best of Show. So, anyway, the reason I'm mentioning this, I mean, I don't know, maybe somebody out there has a car good enough to actually be at SEMA. I mean, if you have a SEMA show car, and you're in one of the booths there, and you think it's worthy. I remember about 5 years ago, Jessica and I went to this in Vegas, and we followed Kazunori all over the SEMA show, and he had 5 or 10 cars that he had to go look through because they're all submitted, so he knew which cars he was going. He wasn't just randomly walking through SEMA. That would take forever and a day to do. So he did have a select list of cars that he was going to, and in the end, we watched him pick, it was a Camaro that won that year, and the Camaro was then implemented into the game. That's part of how it works. That's what they do. That's part of the purpose of this award and why I think it's worthy of winning. So you think of all the awards that one could win at SEMA. And if you don't know SEMA, this is like the biggest automotive trade show there is on planet Earth, I do believe. It's the accessory side of things. This isn't like Ford and GM, although they'll be there. This is all of the aftermarket companies, you know, wheels, tires, suspension kits, you know, audio systems, lighting, whatever you can imagine that you could do to a car. 7 to 8 years ago. Yeah, it was probably that long ago. I forget just how long I've been doing this. Anyway, so yeah, that could be cool and something we'll tune in to see who wins the SEMA award from Kazunori and Gran Turismo. They've teased about the FIA Certified GT Championships Nations Cup website. Apparently, it has finally gone live. So I think we talked about this a good month ago. This is on Wednesday, October 31st, if that's Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. Which, yes, that explains, gosh, it was last year that I was in my Care Bear costume at Vegas. Anyway, that was for SEMA last year. I was there. The best players on the American continents will gather in Las Vegas, Nevada to participate in the FIA Certified Gran Turismo Championships 2018 Nations Cup America's Final. So that's going on Wednesday, October 31st, and the website is now officially up and running. Here, we'll pull it up. Come on. Is that it? GranTurismo.com/US/GT Sport/America's _final 2018. Kind of a long title, but that page is now up and running, so you can find out what's going on and probably watch the live stream and all the news and things building up to it. Your car is only available for the city auction. Vanishing paint. Ooh, that's interesting, Spatial. All right, what else? Codemasters once again has posted that they are actually hiring, so the job list expands. I mean, look, now we're not just talking programmers, but if you want to get into the gaming industry, you live in the UK, you might want to go talk to the people at Codemasters. It might be worth it, but Runcorn UK office manager. I mean, anyone can do that, right? And then the rest look a little more important. Location specialist, French, Italian, German, and Spanish. That could be a very cool job. What else? Q&A technicians, fixed term contract. So not all of these. Lead PC quality assurance tester. Network, program, producer. Artists, programmers. Man, they are really hiring a lot of people. So anyway, just want to let you guys know about that. Also, Codemasters talking about their second video right here. I'm going to go over to this page to check it out because they have at the blog.codemasters, they have the full write-up, but episode 2 of our new Dirt Insight series has landed. So a lot of stuff coming out. They have a new video showing off more things. It's only a minute long, but it's showing them, and you can hear them talking about things that they're doing. A cool little picture there and some more stuff as we continue to get excited about Dirt 2. I'm pretty excited about Dirt 2. That's one I need to contact them pretty much immediately. Yeah, wouldn't you? That would be a geographical discrimination. I think it'd be cool to work for Codemasters. They're awesome. Mitchell DeJong. All right, everyone stand up. Everyone give him a... If there's one sim racer on Earth right now that just deserves the highest of accolades or the biggest pats on the back right now, it really is Mitchell DeJong. Mitchell DeJong, he's a real-life rally car driver. He was running in the Rallycross series here in the States. Don't know what's going on with the whole transition in that whole series right now, but maybe he has a little more time to focus on sim racing, unfortunately for him. But Mitchell DeJong won the Rallycross championship. So Mitchell DeJong is this year's, the 2018 IRX World Champion. But that's not it for him. We just talked about yesterday. Yesterday, he was second place. He finished second to Martin Kroenke in the World Championship Grand Prix Series. That means he finished ahead of some of the best sim racers on Earth. And on top of that, their team, VRS GTI Racing, was third in the World championship of, I believe, the Endurance World Championship that they do. So Mitchell DeJong right now, this year, 2018, has a championship, a runner-up in a championship, and then another podium. He filled out the whole podium, essentially, this one season. And I don't know if you realize how hard that is to do. It's hard enough to go win any one of the championships. But to win one and finish second in another is just insane. And yeah, it's Coanda. You know, Coanda SimSport is the best iRacing team there is right now, in my opinion. So it's just a matter of what they choose to, how they choose to put their efforts forward. But Mitchell DeJong, I've met him. He's a really good guy. He actually lives in Southern California. Met his father as well. Hang out with him at CXC from time to time. He shows up at a lot of the parties there. Anyway, congratulations, Mitchell. Well done. Assetto Corsa posted a video, and this video was Blancpain GT driver Romain Monti taken to the track at Assetto Corsa Competizione around the circuit Misano in the Bentley. And apparently this was in the top 6, 133.606. Can you beat the real-life pro is the big question. Here, you're going to see how he gets it done, including he's got a ghost car out there, it looks like. And he's talking you through it, giving you his tips, letting you know. Oh, look at the braking. I haven't seen that yet, the way the ghost car went from red to green instead of being a driving line showing you red and green. Yes, Brandon, that would be a very good thing to do. Kevin, no, I'm staying away from RDR2 until after the weekend. I got a lot of work to catch up on, and then I can do some playing. So, alright. What else we got? Good morning, RTA. So, there you go. There is Romain Monti getting around the track. I think I had one more story for Assetto Corsa. We're going to come back to that topic, I do believe. Just a reminder, they're posting it, but there's only a few hours left to get your laps in. No, that was on the 19th. I'm way behind. Here we go. Nope. Nope, nope. Where am I? I don't know how I scrolled down so far. Anyway, so they did make the final reveal. They've been kind of holding out on what the full competition for the final round of rFactor McLaren Shadow competition. And right now, they actually have the grand finales all set in stone. So at this point, Race 1, which is all going to be this weekend. Race 1 will be the historic M23 on the roads of Longford. Has a tight circuit with long straights, great braking zones, perfect for the brave to make passing attempts. Race number 2 will be the iconic MP4/8. Make its way to Louisiana as we go racing at the awesome NOLA Motorsport Park. And then race number 3 takes the epic MP413 to our fully laser scanned, brand new Sebring International Raceway. Has a legendary circuit of challenging bumps, changes on surface, and a mix of high speed, low to very high. Finals start on Sunday at 5 p.m. CEST, and it's going to be on Twitch at rFactor Live. So Sunday, the McLaren Shadow finals are going to happen, and that is the layout of the racing that's going to go on, are those 3 events. In addition to that, completely separate but the same, Studio 397 just today posted a video, and that, if you don't know him, that's Dom Duan, who works for Studio 397. He is also the team manager for Team Redline and has been for a good decade straight. And he's got his foot in the door at McLaren somehow, some way. I mean, I think it's a combination of rFactor's work with McLaren, the fact that his team has been basically supplying McLaren its drivers. And so anyway, Dom Duhan is there having a meeting on camera with Ben Payne, the head of the eSport effort from McLaren, to talk about they gave a glimpse of motorsport history and a behind-the-scenes view of their relationship with McLaren. So this is how you'll find out exactly how integrated Team Redline, McLaren, and rFactor all are. All right, just checking in with you guys a little bit. We're talking some steam trains. Right on. What else? Dom has worked for every game, Dev. Yes, he certainly has. He is you know, he might not be all that known on like just on the public street of sim racing, but anybody who's been in sim racing, Dom Duhan That gentleman right there is one of the big people of our industry. For somebody who doesn't, you know, he's not a Dave Kemmer. You know, he's not a Jeff Cammon. He's a sim racer who just kept pushing what could be done from his end of things. And he's a real iconic character and important part of sim racing. Dom Doohan is. Anyway, RaceRoom, you know, we talked about their update. So since yesterday's update, one new feature added the game, and we're watching it here, is the video of you being able to move your driver's seat up and down. So this is something that's pretty popular in a couple other sims, and I guess it's been missing from RaceRoom, but part of that big update that included the Mercedes AMG and other things being added to it is the ability to put your helmet where you'd like it to be. I mean, obviously for me, I'm a little guy, so for me, maybe I think of this is how a driver position for a car should be, is maybe there. But on the other hand, you 6+ footers might feel like this is what a driver position looks like. So they just gave you that update. We talked about the update yesterday and all the few other things that were going on there. What else? Shots fired. We taking shots at trains. You had to be a chick to get in the door at McLaren. Or a fast guy. Kind of sim racing related. Thrustmaster, they're at Paris Games Week. Actually, we have a few things that are going on at Paris Games Week. Those Mercedes are beautiful. I haven't driven them. Did you drive them yet, Dan? Show you a few more shots from that video. Which video? Excuse me. Anyway, so the virtual red arrows, so I think that's like saying the Blue Angels of France, they're going to be coming by the booth and doing something. There's a shot of their booth, which, man, things copy each other. Those sure look like the old Gran Turismo rigs. They very well could be. You never know. In addition to that, they're showing off some of their flight stuff at that. But more importantly, they are showing off some sim racing stuff as well. So let's see. These were all sim rigs. Yeah, these roundy round ones with the blue lighting, those are all sim rigs. And there's a shot of more flying. Oh, here we go. Here's some racing. And so then they have the TGT. Oh, everyone's in those new Ferrari headsets. I have one of these on the way, by the way. I just got notification it's on the way, which is good news. Anyway, ooh, people taking sim racing very seriously. Shoes, what are you doing? What are you doing? Those are Thrustmaster pedals. What are you doing? Oh, that was Paris. Steven, I don't think I got that up on today's show. Let me see if I can pull that together. I don't know if that's possible right now. I have something else from you on today's show. Ooh, there are the headphones. There are the headphones that are being shown off and used. And obviously somebody giving his thoughts about the setup. Some kind of interview going on. And some cool stuff from Thrustmaster. That's one thing going on at Paris Games Week. What else is at Paris Games Week? Well, Logitech G is there, with the G being their gaming series. And look at this, rows of play seats with, I'm going to assume that's Logitech gear. And a McLaren Shadow paint scheme Formula 1 car. Yep, what do you know, Logitech gear, the Logitech booth. Who would have ever thought? But yeah, that's the booth that Logitech brought to Paris Games Week. Let me see if I can pull this off. Let's see how good or tricky Sean is. No, it wasn't here. Hold on, get that out of here. It was here. Oh. Well, there's one thing I just found. Sorry, weird show. Happy Friday. Mitchell DeJong, Coanda Sim Sport. There he is. First, second, and third, as I said. First in Rallycross, second in F1 WCS, and third in BRS GT3 Series. And let's see, what Steven is talking about is... Where'd you go? Here you are. Shane Vazenberg at the Red Bull. Is this the Red Bull booth at Paris Games? Or is this... Where are we? But anyway, you can see some cool simulators there. At the Red Bull or somebody's booth at the Paris Games Week, and that would be Shane. I'm sorry, I missed his. Oh, I closed the window. Sorry. I was about to show you my emails. Anyway, oh, and there's the entrance to the Logitech booth. Cool looking stuff. Looks nice. Looks fractionally crowded compared to like a E3. So all those 3 different sim racing related things at Paris Game Week. That was the point of the story. Moral of the topic. Moral of the story, the point of the topic. MotoGP eSport Championship arrives at Aragon Circuit. So we talked about this. They've been building up to it. So apparently they're there getting set up for everything. And let's see, once again, just to keep you, I think it's next Sunday. I lost it. But we did cover it yesterday as far as when they're going to stream the finals from that. Here we go. Semifinal number 2 in the eSport Champion will be held at Motorland Aragon Circuit. Challenge 5 through 8 will be taking part, making 12 riders in total. It's live from... They don't tell us the date. I know I had the date yesterday on yesterday's show. Is it Steam? I don't know that track, to be honest with you. Venglisberg? Yes, that was it. Shane Venglisberg. A lot of people are talking about this before the show. So this is a post this is on Facebook at KartKraft. And it's sort of funny. I'm going to read some of the first paragraph here. KartKraft is a simulator, a game that's been in the making for a very, very long time. But just to give you an idea how far back. But anyway, when I envisioned KartKraft all those years ago, I wanted to make a game I'd always dreamt of when growing up playing racing games in the 90s. I think a lot of you guys are going to be able to relate to this. To say I was heavily inspired by Jeff Kammen's GP2, 3, and 4, Dave Kemmer's GPL, John Samai's SCGT, Sports Car GT. Man, that was an early great game. That game was before my computer could handle anything. And Stefano Casillo's Netcar, namey would be an understatement. And I totally relate. I mean, I think anybody who has been sim racing forever, those are the names. Jeff Kammen, Dave Kemmer, John Samai, Stefano Casillo. These are the guys who really got us to where we are today. But anyway, KartKraft is something that, going back to, in chat, we were talking about the closed beta, which opened up in 2016. And it's been kind of crickets for a long time. And apparently, those crickets have awakened. And November 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific time, it looks like they are going to be released on Steam. So that's Thursday, November 1st is happening. So you can put it on your wish list now, just so you make sure you get it. Set your alarm clocks and add KartKraft to your Steam wish list to be notified when it's out. We're launching. So apparently it's been a long, long time. Pull up the quick photo here. Oh, I can't get you a good shot of it because I'm not logged in. But the graphics on it look outstanding. Gameplay, we'll have to see, but that's something. We've seen a bunch of different karting type add-ons or sims recently, which is nice to see. What else? Oculus, so this is great. Oculus reconfirms future version of Rift amid PC cancellation rumors. So the people who work there say it's canceled, but Oculus says it's not. Anyway, I think it's kind of ludicrous to think that they wouldn't develop a second gen of the Rift. But anyway, if you want more on that, you'll find that at ARS Technica. What else we got? What else we have? This is one of those stories that pisses me off. There, you get some real-life drivers, and I'm not trying to take a shot at Raikkonen in terms of his abilities in real life, but there have always been the naysayers of the racing world who want to, like, crap on sim racing. And one of those, honestly, has been Kimi Raikkonen. I think there was an article not long ago where he was talking about letting others do the simulation work. It's not worthy of his time. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was Kimi. Anyway, but here's a whole article here, or a write-up here at drivingitalia.net, talking about how huge expenses for the simulators, it would be cheaper to run on the track. Anyway, he's going on to saying that the whole simulator thing isn't worth it, and they just need more test and development time on track. And of course, if you drive for Ferrari, you can have that attitude. I wonder if some of the lower ranked teams are wishing for more money spent on testing time. Anyway, just not a huge fan of sim racing, I guess, is Kimi Raikkonen. there you go. It might have been Lewis Hamilton who said that. But, you know, I've seen Lewis Hamilton jump in a sim. I can't imagine Lewis Hamilton would be anti-simulator because I've literally watched him jump into a sim and get an ear-to-ear grin as he drove. So, no. Yeah, T-Bone canceled is sort of a ludicrous statement. I mean, it's like if they're going to continue the name of the company, they're going to continue with building products. So, F1 making sim racing expensive. Yeah, but Kimi is accusing sim racing of making F1 expensive, is the funny thing. Article here also at drivingitalia.net, so maybe today's the day to go over there and check out their site. But Ride 3, there's a livery editor and special editions of bikes that are going to be available. You can find not bikes, of the game. There's going to be a standard edition and a gold edition, in addition to a season pass with 12 DLC premium, 120 events, 36 trophy goals, 60 motorcycles, blah, 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 Ride 3. There you go. Sim drinking, yes. Pelican, we could argue that point. We could do a whole show arguing, and I don't want to say arguing, discussing that point. Pelican says, sim racing is nothing like racing. I could argue that. But sure, you can learn the track if it's done correctly. All right, Pelican, I'm going to give you a few more things that I think you can learn. I've done some racing. I've raced go-karts. It's the only thing I did a mechanic series of races in a Star Mazda against some other mechanics. A few of them were pretty skilled drivers, but it wasn't hard to be the best in that group. I've driven a handful of different open-wheelers at various schools and tracks over the years, and I raced shifter karts, 125 ICC shifter karts for 2 years. I think it's more than just track knowledge. I think that the wheel-to-wheel competition is very similar, almost identical. Maybe everything you're doing with the wheel and handling isn't one-to-one identical, but there's a similarity. There's a definite common ground on how you operate the sim vehicle to a real-life vehicle. Is it identical? No, but it would almost be like any... You know, if you drove one car and switched brands, it's not going to be identical either. So, but the competition side, I think, is very identical, and I think you learn real life skills on how to set up a pass, how to protect a driving line, not just in terms of learning tracks, but how to identify different quarter types and maximize different corner types, whether you're talking increasing or decreasing radiuses. It teaches you skills like trail braking and the importance of trail braking. It teaches you a lot about car balance and how much the balance affects the handling of a car. So I agree with you that no, Pelican, it's not the same. Is Kimi? I don't think Kimi needs to learn tracks either. In the case of simulator, I think it's more testing strategies, testing different setup variations just to see what might happen. You know, their simulators are a lot more advanced than ours as well, and they work both directions. So they used to put cars on like a 4-axis shaker to simulate a racing condition and what it would do to the car, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think they do that anymore. I think they now do that via full-blown simulation. Pelican, I disagree with you. I watch first... I mean, it happens more in sim racing. I agree. It might be more prevalent at certain levels of sim racing. But if you watch real-life racing, I have watched first-turn stack-ups in every form of motorsport. Formula One, NASCAR, IndyCar... Every single discipline of racing, all the way down to run an SCCA and like the Mazda series or something like that. So I actually disagree with you a little bit on that. I do think it's more common in sim racing, but I think we have 1,000 times more races, 1,000,000 times more races than real life. So I think it increases our odds. All right, anyway, I appreciate your conversation. I hope you don't take that as a shot towards you because... I value everybody's thoughts and opinion, and it's great discussion for the show, by the way. So thank you for that, Pelican. Lionheart, I like to actually applaud these guys when they do well because it's a series that I do follow, and I work with them from time to time. But Dan Guerin won the Skidmark. Remember that name? Skidmark Motorsport 200, which happened on Wednesday. He was the winner of that race, and some of the other who's who were there. You can get the full video at GSRC, so Lionheart IndyCar Series Round 19, New Hampshire. You'll find that in addition to the retro. So if you're looking for some good entertainment or a really good league to run in, you might want to check out Lionheart. Oh, we're long. Oh, we're so long. Oh, this is the other one. Right up at Race Department talking about Assetto Corsa needs more tracks. Does it? And it goes on to say that, sure, granted, maybe the title is a little light on content or tracks on its own, but with the modding community, that there's plenty to be raced. And then they go on to address this sort of like a whole discussion within a discussion. But the modding community helps. But then you have to start questioning, do you prefer quality or quantity? And the reason I do bring this up, because I don't necessarily bring up just a discussion article at Race Department, because it's not really news, but I think about Competizione. And Competizione is coming with a handful of cars, all one type. So, I mean, how much of a variety or difference will there be between marquees running in one series type and then the 12 or whatever tracks that come with that series? That's it. So if they're already questioning, and in the article they go on to say that maybe Xbox and PS4 racers feel more deprived than the PC people because of the modding community, and I agree with that completely. But will Competizione, I mean, what I'm already seeing from people is with one car, one track, people are like, meh. Two car, two track, it was like, meh. And I'm guessing that through the stages that will get more excited, but we'll also have seen so much of the content by the time we get the full version. Cool, you run a league, you run a season or two with it, and then am I done? Puts a lot of pressure on them. I'm predicting that this is a one-off game that will have nothing to do with other games or titles that they might produce, or this is the launching platform, which could be like a modular DLC, and this is something I've actually dreamt of in sim racing, but a modular DLC. So instead of DLC being some hodgepodge of cars or tracks or events, having it be like, this is the IndyCar DLC, and with it, you already own Blanc Pain or a Competizione platform. Here's the IndyCar pack, and it's going to have the cars, the tracks, and the liveries, and maybe they even charge almost as much as the price of a game, but it works with that same platform. I would love to see that from any of the companies out there. No one's really doing it quite like that. If you're going to get your kids Team Sonic for Christmas, looks like it's not going to happen. You're not going to have a fun Christmas driving game to be able to race while hanging out with the family. Anyway, spring 2019 is when that's going to come out. Here's a review from Thumb Culture. I scanned through it, and I can tell you from this review, it still wasn't quite enough to make me inspired enough to go get the game. The Car 18 review, The Road to Nowhere, they called it. They didn't, I don't think they meant that as a slam against the game as much as the open world racing that Dakar is all about. But in the end, they gave it a bronze, and they basically talked about getting somewhat frustrated with it and not being that thrilled. But they might not even be coming from a sim racing perspective, but I've never... you need more... Dan, do you mean literally from my mouth, or do you mean like sound effects on my board, like whistles and bells and things? Or do you mean that I need to be more giving you more turbos or whatever? Anyway, there you go. There's some for you, Dan. Another review, just so you guys know, I'm not going to talk long about it, but this is actually at Motor1.com, a review on NASCAR Heat 3, a welcome standout in the sim racing genre. Those are the famous words of somebody who probably doesn't sim race much, a welcome standout. And I don't mean that as a slam. I'm just thinking, yes, if you aren't a sim racer and someone said, hey, can you please go review Competizione or rFactor, everybody, Sean, give us your best F1 engine sound. Do it for Dan. It's not cheap if I can do them out of my mouth. I agree, Darren, yes, and I think that even others... I can't do it. Sorry. That was the best I got. I'll have to listen to it and then try it again. Anyway, I look at these screenshots, and it looks cool. I'm going to admit, this looks cool. I like the way these late models, or no, modifieds look. on the dirt. That just looks cool, looks fun. The graphics look good. Thank you for that very much. Oh, Brandon, speaking of sound effect, there you go, sound effect for Brandon. Do I want to turn on storage sense? No, please don't ask again. Anyway, thank you. All right, so there's another review on NASCAR Heat 3 if you've been wondering if that was worth your hard-earned money. Did someone step on a cat? My F1 sounds like a squealing cat. That's terrible. Billy says he cringes every time he hears someone say Heat 3 is good. Okay, this came out a couple days ago. I didn't cover it. Someone sent it in. That's when I'm like, okay, I guess people are interested. When I looked at the games, I didn't see any motorsport games. That's why I was like, who cares? But Microsoft says the Xbox Game Pass is coming to PC. So during their latest quarterly earnings call, they did mention that that's going to be happening. That could be cool for people who play Xbox games or crisscross their things. All right, this new tab, see how I have this back to like my home page? And the reason for it was because they had the most annoying homepage. But we went back in time earlier with Jeff Kamen, Dave Kemmer, GPL, and Sports Car GT. Now let's really go back in time. When I had an Atari 2600, my first console system of all, my wealthier friend got a... Come on, what is it? What did they get? If I had a 2600 and my best friend who had money got a bigger, better system around that same era, what would it have been? Anyone? Anyone? Quickly. I'm going to give it away here. I want to see some answers. Here it comes. But it was the Intellivision. Intellivision apparently is back. They're in 2020. We are going to see a new console system from the name Intellivision Entertainment. And this goes back 40 years for me. 40 years ago we're talking about. In this, they show their controllers. Is it playing the audio? You're not hearing the audio. You might be hearing it a little bit in my microphone. There you go, Darren. I knew you knew it. Intellivision, Dave Blair. Yes. Yes, Tom Jones. Well done. Commodore, good guess. Oh, it's that. That's a good guess. There's the controller. Remember that? And didn't it have the little things that slid over the controller? Yep, there it is. Intellivision. So 2020, we're going to see a new version of the Intellivision coming out. Almost 40 years after the release of the original Intellivision home video game system, which helped to redefine the video game industry, Intellivision Entertainment is proud to carry on its legacy of first by announcing the brand new revolutionary family home video game console named Amico to be released October 10th, 2020. So it is still a ways off. I'm going to go back on that because it was so loud. So anyway, there you go. That is big news, but still a ways away. So this is kind of interesting. So Christian Clark, I know Christian, I've worked with him at CXC. He comes down to a lot of the parties there. He knows Mitchell DeJong. Anyway, he sent me this video from Subaru by the Launch Control Nitro Rallycross 2018 episode 6.1.0. So with IRX closing down, or no, that's iRacing's version. With it was Red Bull Rallycross, wasn't it? Whatever the American Rallycross that closed down last year and frustrated everybody, comes Nitro Rallycross. And the reason I'm mentioning this, do you remember when we talked about Formula E and some of the changes they were going to be doing to Formula E back for this season, but that they're going to have like energy zones, like you'd have to get off the driving line and drive through the red box a la like Mario Karts to get more boost in the car and things like that. They incorporated gaming type ideas into Formula E. Well, Nitro Rallycross in this video goes on to basically say that the new variation of Nitro Rallycross is part rally, part racing, and part arcade game. So I don't know. I didn't watch the video yet. I will watch it later, but it just makes you see how games we are now influencing real world. Gaming is so freaking big that we are now showing them how to do it. You you see some of those graphics, you watch football, and some of those graphics, they put those overlay stuff. You don't think that came from video gaming first? You don't think that we aren't already having a huge effect on how we watch and view, and even the direction of sports? But anyway, Nitro Rallycross apparently taking influence from the gaming industry to make their new American Rallycross series even more fun. I'm not sure, is it all 100% USA? But that's, and that's Travis Pastrama's involvement. No surprise with Nitro being the name. I already mentioned, but it is this weekend, so I mentioned again, but the Endurance E-Racing World Championships going on from the 25th, so it's all beginning yesterday through this weekend. Jimmy Broadband doing the announcement. You will find all of this at GTR24H.org on Twitch if you want to watch some of that incredible endurance racing. Oh, that didn't work out so well, did it? Just a heads up, so we're at that weird time of year. I went outside this morning early and it was still dark. I was like, ooh, shoot. Anyway, we are at daylight savings time. I don't even know when the US one is, but it's coming up. But looks like European summertime is ending or begins. Wait, but summer ended. It's winter. Anyway, the times are changing. For those of you in Europe, I do believe that, well, I know it's either going to be an hour earlier or an hour later. I think the show is an hour earlier than it used to be, but you're going to want to double check because we don't change for a couple weeks still, if I'm not mistaken. But just a heads up and warning to you. And my last story of the day, well, actually I have two things to talk about left today. Number one, the Simpit Truck Series running Friday nights. Today's Friday, 6 p.m. This is one of the races I'm always super excited about. Tonight, we're at Martinsville. Anyone running in the series, just warning, we do single file starts. Everyone, you are going to have to really close up because people, someone might go a lap down on the start. Literally, it's going to be that many trucks going around the track. But it should be fun. Martinsville is always exciting and dangerous, but want to congratulate Brian Prudell on being the leader in the points, 189 points over Michael Thompson in second with 185. Billy Strange in third with 184. Donald King and Joe Antonio rounding out the top five. I find myself all the way back in 14th place, so I'm going to definitely have to have a good run tonight. But that'll be streamed on the Simpit Crew channel, tonight at 6 p.m. I might start it a few minutes early. I might start at 5:55, depending. And then beyond that, Stephen Dager is here, and yesterday I mentioned that I used to do some painting, and Stephen is the recipient of one of my all-time favorite paint jobs. So I just want to, whoa, that's not a Stephen Dager paint job. That's a Next Level Racing FGT stand. I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday the full review of that stand came out, so you can watch that right here in video form. That is also going on around here, but this is the car that is the Hot Wheels Willy Wonka candy paint job that I did for Stephen Dager 15 years ago. I don't even remember how long ago. But that is a render of the paint job that I did. One of my favorite. I also painted that black variation of the truck. This is all for NASCAR 2003, if I'm not mistaken. But two of my favorite paint jobs that I ever did, and it was at the request of Stephen Dager, who still to this day, he and I are good friends. And Brandon, yes, I do have messages in iRacing. How did you know that? Are you hacking my account? Anyway, I don't do much painting anymore, but I figured that I'd just show those off because I think they're two of my best works. But long before the show, I did a lot of painting and league admin kind of stuff. And yeah, I think I might have to get back to it at some point. But anyway, that is going to do it for today. Happy Friday, everybody. Get out there, do some racing, have some fun, watch some of these great eSport events that are going on over the weekend, whether it be that GTR 24 hour or what else do we have? We have, it slipped my mind. We have the McLaren Shadow over the weekend. So anyway, that is what is going on for us this week. I will be here tonight racing in the truck series. I'll be here noon on Sunday in the Mazda series. Other than that, I'm going to be working on a handful of reviews. Got a lot of reviews to work on. The AccuForce racing wheel is now going on the rig. I have a handbrake. I have a couple handbrakes. I have a shifter. I have some shakers. I have some wheel rims. So much to review. We're really going to keep that going as well. Anyway, that's going to do it. You guys have a great weekend. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.